Hey there, this is Clay, and today I just want to talk about why the act of saving your relationship and getting back together with your ex is really about an internal transformation rather than just learning some sort of ninja trick or covert psychological manipulation tactic or something like that. And really this comes down to looking at the long-term perspective of your relationship and how you want it to play out. Because obviously you and your ex broke up for a reason, or maybe a bunch of little reasons that just kind of added up. And until you directly address the reason why the two of you broke up, you're really not going to be able to have a successful relationship. Even if you were to learn some kind of secret voodoo magic mind hack or something like that, and the two of you did get back together, the two of you would still have those same problems that led to the breakup. The jealousy, the fighting, the nagging, the insecurities, those would all still be there. And when you add that all up, the only possible end game is for it to end in another breakup. The trajectory is just to go straight to another breakup. And I know that's not what you want. I know you want the long-term relationship, the connection, the commitment that comes from a great relationship. And in order to have that, you have to be able to overcome all of those obstacles. You have to be able to demonstrate and prove to your ex that things aren't going to be the same as they were the first time around when the two of you broke up. That's why it's all about making that internal transformation rather than learning some sort of black hat manipulation trick or anything like that. So what you really need to do is you have to work on your mindset, your inner game, how you bring yourself to the relationship so that you're not needy, not clingy, not desperate, so that you have convictions, so that you have integrity and you don't just sort of waffle around like a nice guy or a nice girl. You just have to really have that so that you have the emotional capacity to be there, to be that loving person, to have that relationship that you know that you want and that you can have with the person that you love. It all comes down to a deep internal emotional transformation that will then give you all of the external strategies and actions. They'll just naturally unfold. You won't have to memorize scripts or lines or anything like that. It'll just naturally come from within you because you'll have worked on your own mindset, your own inner game, your own emotional capacity to the point where that just naturally flows from you, and it's not something you have to try to memorize, try to exert all this effort to really achieve out in the world. It will just flow from you naturally. And that is the point at which you can have a great, lasting relationship where you're not trying to constantly memorize scripts and lines and little language patterns and stuff like that to make your ex or your partner do something. Because, when you look at this, 10, 20 years from now, when you get back together, you don't want to constantly be, trying to game them, trying to make them jealous, trying to make them feel insecure so that they'll stay with you. You don't want that. I imagine you probably don't want that. It seems like a lot of work. If you're like me anyway, you want a relationship that you can relax into, one where you can just feel at ease for who you are, and you don't have to constantly be shielding yourself, trying to make yourself look like the alpha male or, the kind of aloof woman who, I didn't really want you anyway, whatever, I'm going to go out with my friend and have a, drink or whatever. You don't want to always have to be playing the game like that. You just want to be able to relax into a great relationship. And, that's why you have to make those internal transformations so that you don't constantly have to be memorizing scripts and routines and all kinds of things. So I hope this answers your question. I hope this really makes you understand that every major transformation, especially when it comes to relationships and dating and stuff, comes from a deep internal transformation, not necessarily memorizing specific tactics or strategies. So I hope this helps you out. And if you'd like to learn more about how to get back together with the person that you love, head on over to relationshipinnergame.com and sign up there. Thanks.